My name is Lindsay Martin, and I came to know the Lord through the Navigators at CU Boulder. I would say I just had an incredible privilege of being discipled by some incredible women, honestly, as soon as I got involved with the ministry. I think they did a really good job of instilling the value of discipleship in me and pushing me forward to just dive in, even though I felt like I wasn't prepared. I think from the women, again, who had discipled me and then being able to be part of it, I just was like, discipleship works. And I wanted to be doing it for the rest of my life. Currently, I am in Midland, Texas. I am a stay-at-home mom with my 3 boys at home. It is just lots of full days of mayhem and fun. When Jackson, our oldest, was about 6 months old, I had been reading a couple of books about the little years with little kids. And I think in my mind, I had been once they turn 5 or 6, when they can start remembering things, that's when you really got to be present and invest in them. And I read a couple books that really convicted my heart and spurred me on to invest in them now. And a lot of that obviously is just a lot of relational stuff. The time for investment is not in the future. The time for investment is right now. And even if you're not really seeing the fruit necessarily of it, it's there. And what a sweet thing to know, my boys coming to know the Lord and having a regenerative heart is not my doing. I cannot force that to help happen, but what I can do is lay the kindling, just keep putting it in. I mean, my biggest thing is that my boys would come to know and love the Lord above all else, and that they would just be captivated by God. Just as much as I see the value of investing outside of our home and other women, I wanted first and foremost to be I want to invest in the boys that are going to grow into be young men now. When Jackson, our son, our oldest, was about a year old, I loved baking bread, and so many folks were like, why don't you sell that? I bet you could sell it and people would love to buy it. So I did. I started selling it, and it kind of took off. But I think one of the sweetest things about selling bread in our home has been getting to know a few new folks in the community, and I just think it's a sweet way to connect with others through food. Our little tagline we have is, love your people, feed them well. And I do think that's such a great way to communicate care to others, is to feed them good food. And so why not sell sourdough bread to them and communicate care to people through that way, and engage with others in our community through bread. When I first became a mom, I decided to become a stay-at-home mom. That initially was not my first choice necessarily, but I had felt the Lord calling me to stay home and invest in our kids more deeply instead of traveling with work. And I think for me, I had thought that the door of ministry was honestly closing. I would say my husband and I were both surprised that ministry really just started to flourish. Because I think previously for me, when I was doing ministry, it looked like traveling places to be with people, but instead it was no, I'm here. This is my ministry hub. This is the center of our ministry, is our home. And it was sweet to be able to welcome people into that. A lot of times it looks like having people in our home and inviting fellow moms into it, or inviting younger women into it. Myself and a group of women participated in the Bible Project. They have a bunch of different courses. It has just been such a sweet thing to have an opportunity to welcome women into that. Why not just start something? And if women want to come, they can. I think, honestly, the biggest challenge is time. Is that not true for most people, though? To have time to sit down and have the full clarity of thought to give someone my very best. The reality is there are not a lot of opportunities to sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with someone. There are often small hands and tiny humans running everywhere, and dogs and things and needs. But I don't want to say no to something in ministry because of the season of life that we're in. So I think practicing grace with myself in the season that we're in, and not saying it has to look perfect, because it's not going to. We get to be part of people's lives in such a way that they are being transformed on this side of heaven for the kingdom of God. I still am personally just blown away that God asked us to be part of the Great Commission. I don't know why he would have asked us, but he did. And I think it's such a sweet and beautiful thing that we get to be part of it at all. And seeing God transforming lives through his word, through relationships, through studying the Bible. I want to do it forever. What a cool thing that we get to see God at work in others and see God allowing people to become more fully who he already created them to be.